Kieran Gillian, I think her name was. She did the behind the scenes for Guardians 3, and I loved every second of watching that. I was so crazed about Marvel at that time. You don't understand. You don't understand. No, you understand. I was listening to the Marvel album. I was like walking through life, like listening to the in-game album, like Portals and all that shit, like really aura farming with the music. That's how much I felt like I was in the MC. You can tell me I wasn't in the MC. I took on the portrayal of I was Tony Stark. You're not gonna tell me I wasn't Tony Stark. I was Tony Stark. I was T'Challa. I was listening to the soundtrack, like I was so obsessed with Marvel at that time in particular. I still like superhero movies, etc. But like at that time, I'd watch all that shit like a million times. Every single thing I was watching Loki, Agatha, or no, Agatha just dropped. Daredevil, Hawkeye, Avengers. I was rewatching all the Civil Wars, Black Panther, all the old Iron Man's, Hulk, all that shit. I was watching that shit back to back to back to back to back. I mean, we're never going to get a conglomeration of a 15-year series, especially with the definition of how good the CGI was or has gotten. That 15-year expedition to reach that epitome of greatness. So, looking at the behind the scenes right here, it's cool to see, because I remember like always really being really fascinated with how do they film it, because even when you watch some of the behind the scenes, it's not like practical. This is like practical footage, like, because a lot of times it's crafted. It's not revealing too much, but it's also crafted in a sense, and it's showing what it looks like to just be there, you know? Is this a fake town or is this a real town? Like, I literally can't tell. Is this a fake town? It's a fake town, right? How did they get a big ass fake town? Wait, this can't be fake, right? Let me see. Wait, no, it's a real town, I think. I don't even know. I'm assuming this movie's gonna be raw as fuck, by the way. Just based off of like, just the indication of it, I feel like alone is already enough for it to be good as fuck. I see that he's going to be, you know, in the neighborhood on some like chill, cool, like friendly neighborhood Spider-Man vibes, you know? Here's another angle, which is this is what I'm talking about. Like, look how cool this shit is. Because like, I feel like this type of stuff was never like, I just feel like I never seen this type of stuff. I don't know. I'm just not looking into it that often, but oh shit, what the fuck? They got a practical explosion. Oh shit. Yeah, you see with fire here, fire, when it comes to CGIing fire is extremely hard to get. It's because its translucent nature with the luminescence on cameras always gives this blocky, full, contemplated mess. And a lot of times when you have shit CGI rendered explosions, they have this brown foggy shit where it looks like smudged and it's meshy and it's bad. But when you look at stuff like this, right, the practicality with explosions it's way better when they're practical. Not only just because of the pixel compression rate and all the different individual pieces that are moving, but the lighting, the luminescence, the shadow. It's really hard to recreate that on CGI, especially even just in 3D shaping, right? Because obviously fire is not that easy to predict, right? Also, a lot of times with this, sometimes what they do is they don't even record like an actual moment in the explosion. Sometimes they just record an explosion and then they later edit it in, or they'll just record fire and then they'll later edit it in, which is a lot more difficult with that sort of like PNG JPEG nature, right? When you're doing the chroma key, but still fascinating that they did it in a practical explosion, because, you know, this is like Michael Bay. Michael Bay stays on all these types of projects. You know what I mean? He's really infamous for that, or, you know, celebrated for it. I don't know. I guess infamous. I guess some people don't like Michael Bay stuff. I fuck with Michael Bay all the way. One of my goats. Probably my top director of all time. Probably, right? Because I just fuck with his series and just his style of like the militant, like cool shit. But with this right here, this is definitely a good portrayal of just, you know, behind the scenes footage, and the practical effects with explosions is pretty fascinating, I will say. You know, that's crazy. I wonder what that shot's gonna be in the movie. This is stunt double. Could you imagine if that was Tom? Wait, is that Tom? There's no way Tom is like that lit, right? That'd be crazy if he was like that lit and he was doing all his stunts on some Jackie Chan shit. Some Jackie Chan shit would be crazy. No bap. This is a cool like thing to see though. Oh shit. So they needed that shot. That shot's probably gonna look really cool. Like this right here. This like sway. Oh, that's gonna look so cool. 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 I can just tell. You can just tell that's gonna be a fire scene. I'm sure they're probably gonna add a little bit more fire to the explosion and make it look more crazy and shit, but that's fire. Isn't it crazy what humans will do for film? You know what I mean? Like the amount of man hours, the amount of like training, dieting, nutrients, like it's like a whole team. It's a whole process. It's not like a lot of this stuff is very complex. A lot of investments, a lot of people got to work, get paid, edit, all that stuff. But with AI, I mean, AI is going to get to the point where they're not even going to need, a lot of this stuff is going to be rendered useless at some point, right? Isn't AI just going to be able, you're going to be able to type in the prompt and that's the movie. You can make any movie you want. AI is getting scary, bro. Like, just keep that in mind that a movie like that, or like him doing that, like I'm sure that they could literally make that entire thing, make the entire movie with one button of AI, with some crazy like military grade AI. Spidey, I've always been a huge fan of Marvel just because of, you know, for me, Marvel and, well, let me say this. I always had a real knack for action movies just in general. Growing up, I always watched movies. I had the TV with the booty in the back. We all had the BBO TV. If you were born, I was 03, so I experienced that bell curve of like kind of old shit with kind of new shit and then into the newer new shit, right? But we still had the booty in the back, you know. We still had the Tamagotchis, the Beyblades, the Bakugans, Fushigi. We had all that shit. Zoop House, remember Zoop House, the little plate? I know you remember that. Cabbage Patch Kids, I still was there. I was there. Teletubbies, we watched it. Super Y, remember Super Y? Octonauts, all that shit. See, we had though. There was this one. So we was in these apartments, and this was like a way back. But we had this little TV. We had this little like it was a little like think about the smallest TV, the smallest size TV there is. A little ass, like you could literally hold it like in your hand like this. And this was like fourth grade, I think, or fourth to third grade, I think. Kind of that bell curve. And we had no cable. We had no cable. So we had the nigger rig the TV. We had the nigger rig it. So we had one of them little white cords, you know, little white cords. We had to basically configure the thingamajig so that we could trace a signal, and we use the antenna to wire a little signal, and then we would put movies. We had tons of movies. Oh, we had movies. We could play it on, like, we could do the DVD player, but sometimes you don't want to watch the DVD player. Sometimes you want to watch cable. So we had to like trace a signal of cable, like offline TV though. It wasn't like we just had TV, but we would recoup the thingamajig, and it had to be at a specific angle for the electricity to like go into the piece. And that's how we went. And sometimes we watched Sophia the First, or no. I think it was, we had like Super Wide, from what I can recall, Octonauts, like little shit like that. But we barely got that signal. Barely. And sometimes you wouldn't even get it, or like it would be so annoying and so frustrating just to get that one little piece. You'd be like, man, fuck it, I'm going to bed. You'd be like, fuck it, man, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. But we was little, and it wasn't really that big of a deal because we were children. And I had an Xbox at that point, right? I had gotten an Xbox, but it was still fun, like, or like it was like a moment in time, right? Where like, you know, we had no cable. That shit was a struggle, you know what I'm saying? But we good now. But it says but oh, what I'm getting at is so that was my fascination with movies, right? Because when we didn't have the cable, we was always cranking out movies. Movie. And my liking was always the action shit or the funny shit. Friday, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, all that. I had all the old Ninja Turtles too. The little live action one when they was dressed up in the suit. That one was raw too, the one that was back in the day. And I fuck with it because, or just like movies in general, because they're so out there. And my knack for action hero movies is just because of, you know, just I just like action. I mean, you know, it's just, I think it's just a guy thing, right? Like niggas like action. But I'm saying this to say that that sort of warmed me up for superhero movies. And what also sort of slathered my plate was like shows like Lab Rats, Henry Danger, Phineas and Ferb to a certain extent, where these sort of catastrophic catalysts can lead to a mega event. Like, remember the Phineas and Ferb big moment when, it's like, I think it was like their final episode or like their movie, the Phineas and Ferb movie. It was like all their old inventions all came together at one moment. From like the very first episode, you've seen every single invention from every episode led up to that point. And I thought that was a cool moment. That's kind of how Endgame portrayed itself. With Lab Rats, you know, the bionic kids or whatever, and they were like super complex, etc. So that right there was one of my favorite shows as well. Pretty funny with the AI as well. Yeah, that show low-key predicted like the AI craze. Like, remember like the AI guy who used to just be like ranking on the mom and shit. He, like, the AI had beef with the mom. But that right there was my sort of introduction to that type of stuff. And so my fascination with Marvel came from my love for Transformers almost. Because I remember my mom was like, yo, I want you to see this Transformers movie. And this is before I knew about Transformers. I was like, I don't want to see that shit. And when I saw it, I fell in love with it because it was the first Michael Bay action film where it was like, wait, these robots are real. Like, they're like real, like robots, and it looked sick and stuff like that. And so that's when I got really, really infatuated with it, right? And that sort of gave me like a boost, I guess, into in terms of like being into superhero movies, etc. And then later on, when we get to what was the first like a Marvel movie I watched? I think it was Iron Man. But I was really young when it came out, so I didn't really like care that much or really know about it, right? Like I knew about it, but I didn't really care. Actually, it may be Hulk. Actually, I think it may be Hulk. I think it was Hulk. I do also remember watching Wolverine as well, and X-Men and stuff like that. But that wasn't really like MCU based, and it wasn't, you know, it was like their own little thing. In terms of Marvel now, though, what really got me fascinated was like the Avengers. That was when I really, really, really got infatuated with it. Was like, but I was in like, how fucking young was I, bro? I think I was in like, I think I was I fourth grade? I think I was fourth grade at that point. And I remember like everyone watched the movie before me, and I didn't get to watch the movie. So like I was kind of a bit late, but I when I eventually did end up watching the movie, fell in love with it. I was deep in on the franchise at that point. It's crazy how long the franchise lasted. Isn't that insane that like it's still going up to this point? Like I just think that crazy, and they're still like doing the the life of it, I guess. I don't know. But regardless, I started to get into Iron Man, or it wasn't Iron Man. I was really a Transformers guy. That was really my stuff. Michael Bay is just GOAT. But I got into the Marvel phase like really crazy when Ultron happened and then Civil War happened. That's when I really, really, really fell in love with it. Like, because I thought it was cool, like when they went back and forth, the Avengers were fighting, and they got the guy. I think his name was Zemo, right? I think his name Helmet Zemo. He was the one who got them all to start fighting and shit, and you know, tried to get the Empire to crumble from within. Pretty smart move, right? He didn't have to do anything, like he didn't have to fight them himself. Pretty smart move. So he used their internal to like destroy them from within. Pretty cool premise right there. I thought that was pretty dope. And then since then, that's when I really, really got into it. And I got into, after that, I kind of lost love for it, but I remember watching Civil War a lot. I watched it a lot, a lot, a lot. And like, cause like Ant-Man was okay. Kind of a forgettable film. What else? Doctor Strange was really good. Doctor Strange was really, really fucking good. That was another one that got me back on the craze as well. But I remember like getting so into it to the point where I was listening to the albums and like cringily like pretending I was fucking Captain America, you know, moving to the front line. And I don't know why, but it just felt good. You know, it felt good to I don't know, just like embrace that aura. Like, let me see. We're about to aura farm right now. Avengers album. Let's see. No. Avengers Endgame album. The Alan Silvestri. This right here, big. I was listening to this shit. No cap. Come here to visit me on the day of my daughter's birthday. That's a Family Guy bit. Like, just like, it just felt so cool to like ultimate devastation, you know? The best one was Portals. Let me see Portals. Portals was, I think it's the last one. Wait, oh, here's Portals. Yeah, this is the one when, you know, they do the portals. On your left, Steve Rogers, do you copy? On your left. Oh man, Spider-Man, Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, Pepper Potts. No way! It just feels good. I felt so fucking cool. It's so lame, but I felt so cool. Like, you just feel like a boss, bro. Like, you just feel like you can just like, and it's cooler. Like, I was like walking and shit and just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just feeling the vibes, bro. Feeling the vibes. So, shout out Alan Silvestri. I always say Silvestri or some shit like that. He does most of these soundtracks for a lot of films. He did like Back to the Future, etc. A lot of them. Spider-Man. That's pretty cool, bro. This is an aura farm right here. That's an aura farm. 100%. I wonder, what are they gonna do in terms of like, look at that. From the inside is crazy. Wow. I wonder if that's gonna be like the only snippet until the movie or what. Obviously they, you know, they can't release the whole film and shit, but pretty cool. Spider-Man. Does whatever spiders can. Yes, here comes a Spider-Man.
Tom, can I get a photo? Tom. Hey, nice to meet you. Can I get a photo with you, please? Thank you so much. Sorry.
Pretty cool.
Hold on. I can't see anything.
Oh, it's actually Tom. I thought it was a stuntable.
Hold on. I can't see anything.
Wait, so he does his own stunts. He does his own stunts, right? That's crazy. If he's actually doing his own stunts, he's fucking crazy for that. So Tom Holland is not Tom Holland. How do I want to say this? Tom Holland is not an actor who does his stunts. Tom Holland is a stuntman who acts. I didn't know that. If he does his stunts, he's insane for that, like, generally. Or at least most of his stunts. I'm sure he probably has like a body double for some crazy stuff or something like that. But if he does doing most of the stuff, it's still insane. Shout out to Boy though. Shout out to Boy. This stuff's pretty neat. Just to look at, like, just to see it, like, practical effects and stuff. It makes you feel like a kid again, you know? And it does look very comical. It looks so comical. Like, just the street and stuff and, like, the way it looks in the air. What's so cool about this type of stuff is how direct they are with a lot of things. Obviously, it's the director, right? But, like, they have full intention with what they're going for. That's always so fascinating. Like, that explosion is there for a specific thing that the specific writers made, that the specific director went for, that they're like clearing the vision properly. I just think that's pretty fascinating, you know? Fascinating stuff. So shout out. It's like oh, JP Morgan. It's like they're actually there, you know? It's like this is a real, because like in real life, that's how the crowd would be. It's real life and that's the crowd. It's pretty neat, you know? Look at this. Holy shit, looks like he's getting hung, bro. What the fuck? Oh, it's like a Kai Cenat stream, you know? Oh my god. That's pretty crazy. Him to be just suspended like that. Fire. Probable call. Fire. Here's a breakdown from our guy. Our boy here.
Spider-Man back shots are back, and they've never looked better. This picture is insane. This picture's insanity. I've been looking at this picture for hours now, and showing it to everybody in my personal life. This is Spider-Man, bro! Spider-Man is real! This is making me say, the amazing Spider-Man! These are some of the craziest behind-the-scenes photos I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Who else does this, bro? In Marvel. Who else does this? Who else is on the level of the Batman and Superman? There's only one.
True.
And it's this guy. Spider-Man. They literally have Tom Holland Spider-Man as if he's in a Michael Bay movie. Practical effects are sick. Absolute gas. And the fact that they're prioritizing them over mostly CGI, hopefully, that's a good sign. Because honestly, I love practical effects. And I think they age better than most CGI.
They age
over time.
so well. Listen, they age so well. Sorry. Excuse me. They age so well. The reason you look back at the old Michael Bay had, listen, there's a scene in Transformers. Go to it. I think I already showed it here. In battle, Starscream gets noti that Sam was coming. Bumblebee and Ironhide get the truck to lift up the tank. Or the semi-truck, right? To block the shot that Starscream was coming in. Bumblebee gets his legs blown the fuck off, right? Because Starscream shit was just so powerful. Then Bumblebee shit so fucked, they come up, they're like, oh shit, nigga, Bumblebee legs gone, what the fuck? And so Michaela had to reconfigure the thingamajig and get Bumblebee on the hydraulic so she could drive around. So she was like, I drive, you shoot. Nigga, this nigga Michael Bay built an entire fucking size, like big ass size Bumblebee fucking shot, like big ass Bumblebee fucking animatronic with Michaela on the back on the truck. Nigga, they used that shot for literally 0.1 second of the film. Like that shit is a blink of an eye in the film, yet they went through all the effort just to put it in there of a practical effect. It did look good, but the fact that they put it like it's a big ass life sculpture of Bumblebee and they used that bitch for literally 2 seconds. But it still ages well. And a lot of the practical stuff ages well. Also, the message and the rendering of the animatronics. Listen, Optimus Prime falling out of the airplane. CGI scene. Everybody knows it. Revenge of the Fallen. His luminescence looks very reflectant. Forest fire scene. When Blackout gets his eye ripped out, you see the fake little tiny explosion. It's a really bad explosion. It's literally like a fucking After Effects like shitty explosion that they use. Bad CGI. Revenge of the Fallen had good CGI, but it also had really bad CGI. Even Megatron going to the Fallen. When you look at Megatron in this Cybertronic area, very bad reflection and luminescence on all the characters in there. Really bad. Go back and look, I'm telling you. You know, when you look at Megatron, he pulls one of these like little almost like a Matrix fucking characters, right? Because you know how Neo goes in the Matrix, he comes out of that gelatin. There's like these little cyborg little tiny things of things, and this is a test to, you know, Avatar Fire and all the new avatars, and why it took so long to make these movies, because Weta was trying to make these really perfect the water graphics, because water is just the way it renders, it's so incoherent. It's every single minute fall and detail of a layer. It's very hard, even with lighting as well. And so when you're looking at you know how Megatron pulls that thing off, it's like this gelatin slob that falls off it. It looks so bad, so pixelated, so bad. And you know, when you're watching it then, you're probably not caring, you're not really paying attention. But when you look back at it, that's really bad. But when you look at like the practical stuff always hits. You can't beat life. You can't beat reality. You know what I'm saying? So I mess with that stuff heavy. Transformers 1 easily is the best for terms of the registering of meshes though and stuff. So see, they were registering a lot of those textures and stuff individualistically on the parts, adding the erosion, adding the scrubs. But they were almost registering it like a video game. Like how you would register a video game character, they were registering it that way. In the newer stuff, they're like doing full on complete like deconstructed builds. So it's not as specified for how they want these parts to really move. When you're looking at the transformation with a lot of these things, it was really hard for the animators to get the correct formation of them, because you really have to realize like the full build compared to the actual autonomous vehicle is a lot more different, right? Even though it folds and it looks the way it does. So the animators really had a hard time, and so they kind of had to like capitulate to actually figure out how to get these things done. Now, the best thing that they have is that these are solid parts, right? They're not like flimsy parts to where they have to catch also the flimsy part of it, right? They're just using all the moving like cybernetic fucking intertwines of the pieces and trying to get that to fit as much as possibly into the character, right? At the end of it, like when we're getting closer to the car transformation, they kind of have to like wiggle dick it basically and kind of just shove the fucking character in there as much as they possibly can. But they did have to do each individual part, so they had to learn all the parts, right, of the car, the muffler, the fucking HUD cap, the fucking everything, the dashboard. It all had to fit seamlessly. And I think they did do a great job at it, especially with all of them. Barricade, Ironhide, Starscream, you name it. They did very well with them. But the practicality in CGI will always outlast. Even attempting to make individual pieces as practical as possible. It takes a long ass time. It wasn't like it's just this easy process. Not at all. But the time that it takes, because obviously like Hollywood had like that whole unionize, it's on fire. There was so much shit going on. Like Hollywood literally was on fire. Remember when Gavin Newsom goes on TV and it's on fire? The whole thing was on fire. The whole thing was on fire. What the fuck? How was the whole thing on fire? I just find that insane. Yeah, bro. Insane stuff, but yeah, we'll see. Okay? We'll see.
And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this is Tom Holland. Because
I
bro is really him, and he does his own stunts. I gotta say, this is a brand new suit, and it's amazing. I've seen enough, and honestly, I hope they can manage to contain the hype with behind-the-scenes photos, with controlled promo images, no leaks. I'm hoping we all don't know this entire film by the end of this week. I want them to keep surprises so that when we go in there, we still have a rewarding experience that feels fresh and exhilarating. And everything we've seen from these behind-the-scene photos seems like it's leading up to a very special Spider-Man movie. And it's really nice to see the Spider-Man fandom unite, because even with people who don't like Spider-Man Homecoming or Spider-Man Far From Home or Spider-Man No Way Home, they all seem to be excited to watch Spider-Man Brand New Day, and we'll probably be watching it opening weekend. So that's amazing. Truly, if you hear anybody talk bad about those movies and they're still on the journey with us, then do they really dislike those movies? No, probably.
I think those movies are pretty good. I think some of them were slightly overhyped. Like Homecoming was good, definitely. What was the other one again? There's Homecoming, and then there's No Way Home. No Way Home. Wait, no. Is this not the fourth one, or am I tripping? There's that one. There's Homecoming. There's No Way Home, and there's no, it's the same film. Yeah, there's that. Yeah, it's the same film. I'm pretty sure. I'm just thinking like, am I tripping? I might be tripping. Hold on. There's No Way Home, Homecoming, Far From. I knew it was two different. Far From Home. Right. Far From Home. Far From Home. Far From Home. And then Brand New Day. It's a new day, it's a new light, and I'm feeling good. Let's use that. Good morning to you. The birds are chirping on my dick. Happy as shit. Yeah, that pussy was good. Where was that? Oh, there's a hero scene. Nice. He saved the old lady. Look at grandma. Look at grandma. Wait, oh no, that's the last kid. That's the lad boy. Boy. All right, let's see. Yeah, there's a lot. They got a lot of footage here, and I'm not mad at it at all. This stuff, like the whole seeing the whole process to me has always been so cool. It's fascinating. Like just seeing, like, I don't know, just like it's just so cool. Like I don't know, you're like seeing in the process before the movie's fully finished. It's like peeking inside of the animatronic or something. I don't know. Frontier Master. Oh, so he does have a stunt double. This is a stunt double, right? That's not Tom, right? That is a stunt double, I think. He probably does like all the hard extra shit, like when he's hanging off the side of the shit. Probably him, right? Yeah, like he's probably hanging off of that. That's probably too dangerous for Tom, or at least too risky. At least he probably could do it, but just the risk is not worth. Pretty cool stuff. Yo, that shit's so raw. That is exactly how Spider-Man moves. Like, you know, he's always straining and like doing the most fire stuff, bro. I'm the biggest Marvel fan in the world. I'm not gonna say the biggest in the world, but actually, because I know there's someone out there who loves it. They love it. But I definitely enjoy my Marvel films. Here's Zendaya with a couple fans. Looks like they were outside, or she was there visiting him. Oh, could you imagine that, bro? That's kind of the life, right? You and your girlfriend out watching your box office hit movie. It's already a hit. It's already a smash. You know, she gets to watch you like be great. That's pretty cool. Zendaya isn't filming, just supporting Tom on set. Well, she forgot about him, right? During the blip, right? Or not during the blip, but through the memory erasing. Confirmed, Haley Steinfeld will return as Kate Bishop. Pretty dope. That's pretty cool thing. But yeah, man, like I always say I wouldn't date an actor, but maybe that's just me coping. But for me, it's just they have to do these scenes sometimes, and I'm a very jealous person when I'm in a relationship. I'm not even gonna lie, like I'm gonna keep it a whole stack. Like I just, I like my person. I like my person being all about me. I don't that whole actor thing where like they got to do the role, they got to kiss somebody, I'm just not. I can't. I don't think I can do it because every day I would just be. It wouldn't even be like I don't know if that's an insecurity. It's just a possessive thing. For me, it's more so a possessive thing. I guess you could say it's an insecurity, but for me, it's more so like, dude, that's mine, bro. Like, what are you doing, bro? Chill out. Real talk, bro. Chill out. That's mine. And obviously, like that. The reason I say I wouldn't date one is because that's their work. That's the whole job. That's the job, right? I don't want to get them. I don't want them to like not take a role because of me and my personal, things. So I'm like, that's why I'm like, I probably should just stay out of the actor loop more than likely. But I guess, you never know, right? You never know. But with that stuff, it's like, and obviously they choose the roles, right? They choose the roles. But it's like say for instance, someone who an actor I'm dating gets this crazy role, like it's like they get a Marvel role, but in the role they gotta like fucking Steve Rogers, Chris Evans, right? And like a fake sex scene, or they gotta like kiss and make out and like do all this extra shit, right? I would be like, I wouldn't care because like I've already put myself in the mindset of like that's the job. But like not knowing that already, I already know in deep inside I'm like, oh, no way. I'm just gonna be like, no fucking way. No fucking way. I gotta watch that. I know I'm gonna want to watch the movie. I'm gonna want to watch it. Just getting cooked live. But it's still like, it's not really about that. And obviously it's not that deep, right? Because it's just like a quick thing. But for me, it's the motive. That's my person. How could you do that to me? How could I allow it? So, I'm just with that type of stuff, because this is so cool to see her on set with him, just and like in terms of like, not to be egocentric, but like if I ever end up dating an actor or be an actor, it would be like a great experience, to like have a companion watch you act and like do your cool stunts and stuff, like watch you go to work and your work is really fucking cool, you know what I'm saying? So I like her hoodie, nice hoodie. Not too fan of the outfit, but the hoodie's nice. But that's the vibes. That's the vibes. These guys look like they're pretty chill as well. That's them together. Then with the family, special ed guys, pretty chill. Let's see. Oh, Haley Steinfeld, she's coming back. Interesting stuff. See, this right here I think is cooler. Like, you see how, because like I think Logan Paul and the WWE also do documentaries like this. I think this is cooler, like an actual like video, like vlog almost, but it is kind of like influencer-fying Tom in some way.
So how you feeling?
Yeah, I feel good, man. It's day one. My fourth ever day one on Spider-Man. It's funny, putting the suit on, it feels different this time, somehow. It's also the first time we've ever had fans on set for day one, so it's really exciting to share this with them. We've got some familiar faces on set. I'm just going to do...
Who's your handler? Who's my handler? What is that? Like a manager? Like somebody who tells me stuff or what? I don't have a handler. I don't think I have a handler. I got a manager, but that's it. Look at all the details and all this stuff. I mean, it's just on Twitter, but you get the best insights. I don't know, man. I'm just a prophet. Stuff I just say, it just comes to life. It just comes to life. I don't know. It's just my world, It's my world. You guys are in it.
Do my best. Hopefully get it right. No pressure.
Obviously, I'm kidding, but I don't know. Just like, I guess I have a handler. A lot of things I do say do come to fruition, but maybe it's God. I just have a lingering force behind me, just, you know, hoping things come through, you know.
Let's go. Sing!
Pretty fire. I like that way better with the whole like sorry, I'm eating, I'm kind of being a slob here. Just with like the entirety of like showing like actually doing like a breakdown vlog of it, because that's how like the WWE did it, and I thought it was pretty cool how Logan, oh, here's a shot of the explosion, Logan and them did it. It was really cool how like it was just a vlog, but like you get to see like stuff in it a little bit. It's kind of like how like same thing with like Kai Trump, like how Kai Trump went to the White House, but she's like documenting like historical footage on her YouTube channel. It's like very fascinating because, you know, it's like Kai Trump is like casually just vlogging like some of the most like crazy like prehistoric and like, you know, monumental history of the world casually, but it's very like vlog style and very homey style, so it seems very chill. And obviously that stuff is like, you know, reviewed and stuff, and they make sure they're not showing anything crazy, but it's still cool to see. Very fascinating. Some guys at the apartment. Oh, look at the drone. Very, very cool, dude. Is him returning. Tom.
Spider-Man Brand New Day is officially on its way. Tom Holland teased what's ahead for his fourth Spider-Man film by dropping a few behind-the-scenes photos on Instagram over the weekend, as well as a teaser clip. The actor shared 2 pictures of himself on set, which fans were quick to notice featured his brand new Spidey suit, which Sony unveiled on Saturday morning through a new teaser clip.
We ready?
Ready.
The BTS pics show Spider-Man on top of a military-like automobile. Holland captured the pic, Spider-Man Brand New Day 1. On Friday, it was announced that Mark Ruffalo will appear in Brand New Day, notably reprising his role as Bruce Banner / the Hulk. Ruffalo isn't the only returning star joining Holland's 4th Spider-Man, as Michael Mando, who played the Scorpion in Spider-Man Homecoming, also joins the cast. It was previously announced that Jon Bernthal will too appear in the film as the Punisher. Plot details are being kept under wraps, though a standout new addition to the cast is Sadie Sink. Brand New Day is set to hit theaters July 31st, 2026.